Well, welcome to Missouri State University West Plains Convocation. This is the second annual convocation that we have performed, and I want to welcome all of the students and their families as we start on a new year. Before we begin, I would like to remind everybody to please turn off your cell phones if you have a cell phone. I would like to thank our pianist accompanying us today, Michaela Wee, thank you very much. Beautiful music. One of our incoming students. I'd also like to recognize a few people. First, I would like to recognize the chair of the Faculty Senate, Deborah Mayer. I would like, thank you. The chair of our Staff Senate, Chulapol Tanamsing. Chulapol, thank you. And all of our faculty and staff, our faculty are in the first three rows here. Missouri State University West Plains would not be what it is and recognized with such distinction if it were not for the dedication, the long hours, the standards of excellence that our faculty provide. So I want to recognize our faculty and thank them for being with us here today. Please join me in a round of applause for them. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Pat Walsh, who will introduce our guest speaker.
Thank you for being here with us today. I have the distinct privilege of introducing Dr. Sondra Cave, our speaker today. I got to work with Sondra for many years at Mid-American Nazarene University, where she was in student affairs for many years and then was a professor and taught sociology. She also wrote the curriculum for our freshman seminar course there, and it was centered around students discovering their strengths and operating from their strengths. She's also done consulting with the Gallup organization with that same focus and traveled around the country to colleges and university campuses, training faculty and staff and students in the use of their strengths. Her latest project has been with an engineering firm in Kansas City, and she's a very gifted speaker, and I hope you enjoy what she has to share with us today. Welcome, Dr. Sondra Cave, to our campus.
Thank you, Pat. Good afternoon. How is everyone? Are you awake on this Sunday afternoon? All right, good to see you. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of months now. I love speaking to college students. The new school year is one of my favorite times of the year. And then when I get to talk to students and be around students, it's an extra special highlight for me. Because there's so much potential as you sit here and think about what's ahead and so many possibilities that await you. And so I'm excited about that. It's a great day. You're here, you're ready to start classes officially tomorrow. Some of you I know have been here this last week, but the real semester begins tomorrow, and the real experience begins tomorrow, the real journey. And I know you've come from all around the country and possibly around the world, and you've come from, I know some of you from Illinois, you told me on Friday, and Oregon. I had a chance to speak to some of the students on Friday, and so that was a real privilege and getting to be here. But no matter where you call home or where you come from, you're here now and you're entering into the family of the Missouri State University. And so this is a new journey. You're starting a new journey here. And this journey is going to be where you're going to get a chance to discover who you are. You're going to discover more about what you believe and where you belong. You're going to learn more about how you fit not only here, but in your life story and so many more things. And as we talked on Friday, I know a lot of you came with expectations, but this is an exciting time, and it's a great beginning, not just for you, but for your parents and for your family. When I think about this moment, I think about all of you arriving here, I'm excited about all of this. And it's exciting to know, students especially, I want you to know, faculty seated right here in front, they are here to be a part of your journey. They're here to help you, to encourage you and challenge you, and even your family and your members of your family back home, and the peers that you're just now meeting or you haven't yet met or you're getting ready to meet through this experience. All of us are part of your journey. We're all part to help you move on. Where are parents? Are there parents and family members here today? Just raise your hand so I can see you. Great. Parents, I want to say to you, yes, thank you. I'm not part of the Missouri State family, but I'm part of a higher ed family. And we thank you for the efforts that you made to get your son or daughter here to this place today. Because your encouragement is key, and your encouragement going forward is going to be crucial and critical to their persistence and their success. They're going to need you and depend on you. And those of us in higher education are always so grateful to you, parents, that you're willing to share your child with us, that we don't take that lightly. We know that they are your sacred trust, and we look forward to getting to know these incredible children that you've raised and recognizing the amazing talent they have and celebrating who they are, as you already know and you already have been doing for 18 or 19 years of their life. And so now you're giving them over, crossing a bridge to us, and we're so excited, and we thank you for trusting us to this place that we are called to so that we get a chance to share their journey. When I think about a journey, when I think about the start of a new year and welcoming a new group of students, I think of two children's books that kind of come to mind. They're two of my favorites, and you may have gotten one or both of these for your graduation. One of them is by Sandra Boynton, and it's Yay You. And it says, moving out and moving up and moving on. And I think that's really a great description of where you are today. Moving out, moving up, moving on. And yes, yay you, you're here, you made it. And on the second page she writes in there, oh, what a great moment, and it is. And then she writes about the fact that there's so many choices, and the world is immense. And as you think about this new beginning, there are endless possibilities and so many choices for you to make. The second book is one that I know you're familiar with as well. You might have received also as a graduation gift, written by Dr. Seuss. Oh, the places you would go, that great scholar, Dr. Seuss. And it's a great story about what's ahead of you and the many places that you're going to go in your life and this journey that you're on. And I love the fact it says at the very beginning page, congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself anywhere that you choose. You're on your own. You know what you know, and you're the one who'll decide where you go. And when you think about this journey that you're on, today is your day. You're beginning your career here. Lots of choices in front of you. A college education is a great privilege and a great opportunity. Not only will your education and hard work lead to a college degree, but the college degree is going to open many doors for good opportunities for you in terms of a profession, job, what you're going to do with your life, your career, your calling, your passion. A college education will enhance your critical thinking and your reasoning skills and your problem-solving abilities. You're going to learn how to work with others. It's going to build your self-confidence if you'll stay with it and persist and don't give up. And it's going to enhance your communication skills. What I want you to think about too today is to begin sort of with that end in mind, to think about what you're going to be accomplishing and achieving, and look at that. You know, I talked to you on Friday and a little bit today about this journey. When you get ready to take a trip, you have a destination in mind, and you don't lose sight of that. You keep driving toward that, even though there's detours, even though there's difficulties, even there's obstacles and things that get in your way, and a lot of road construction. In our part of the world, we call it the Orange Barrel Capital because every road is under construction, it seems like. But I also want you to think about it too, not only just a journey or the destination and keeping that roadmap in front of you, but another way that you might think about it is if a puzzle. Because there's going to be some pieces that you're going to be trying to fit together over these next few years of your college career. And you know, I don't know about you, but when I get ready to work a puzzle, which is kind of a Christmas tradition around our house, we set the box top out in front of us so that we can see what we're trying to construct. And so I want you to think about your college career as sort of a puzzle and keep that box top in front of you. What picture, I mentioned to you on Friday, the story that you're writing. What is it saying? What is it writing? Don't lose sight of the end. And because academics is one of the primary reasons you've chosen to attend college, you're all going to study hard and you're going to learn well, right? So keeping that in mind. But I want to challenge you. Get involved in your academics. You don't want to wait, nor should you, to begin the academic journey. I want you to think about the endless possibilities and the road that's not yet traveled for you, the things you have not yet learned. And I want you to think of yourself as a scholar. Yes, you heard me correctly. Think of yourself as a scholar. You remember on Friday I mentioned that what we focus on creates the physical connections in our brains, and it creates a biological self-fulfilling prophecy. You might not remember that from Friday, I know, but I'm reminding you. But on Friday we mentioned that, so focus on that. In fact, here's what I want you to do. I want you to say this aloud with me. I want you to say, I am a scholar, aloud with me, okay? You ready? I am a scholar. I can't hear you. I am a scholar. Okay? One more time, a little louder, with conviction. All right, let me tell you why I have you do that. It's important that we see ourselves that way. That's the picture we start creating. That's the picture on that puzzle. That's the destination that we're working toward. See, a student has to be taught. A student, we're trying to kind of draw out, you don't walk into a class, your professor's not going to unzip your head, lift it open, and just dump in information. You might want them to. A student might expect that. But a scholar, see, a student waits to be told or to receive instruction. A scholar asks questions and searches and seeks to know. They persist. They persevere. They imagine. They seek new solutions. They have courage. They take on difficult projects and tasks that others avoid. They take the initiative. They take on the nature of a scholar. You're a scholar. I believe that for you. I want you to believe that too. And begin with that end in mind. That's who you are. Just continue to be on that journey the best scholar you can be. How many of you are athletes or musicians or dancers or in theater? Okay, quite a few of you. And you're all used to practicing, right? And preparing for the big game or the play or the performance. And how many of you that just raised your hand wait until the night before to practice your solo or learn the plays or work out so you'd be in shape for that game? Probably not very many of you. I heard the volleyball team had a game yesterday. You didn't just start practicing Friday night so you'd be ready for that game tomorrow. You put in time. And you don't stay up all night trying to cram for that performance either. Because you know that your performance is never going to be better than your preparation. However, when it comes to college and to academics and studying, many students seem to wait until the last minute to prepare for their solo performance on the psychology test. Or they stay up all night memorizing those plays that they're going to need for that math test. And as you prepare for your college career, I want to challenge you to think about your classes and think about your studies in the same way that you do an important performance or a big goal that you're trying to achieve or something that you're planning for that's important to you and significant. Your academics should get as much or more preparation than anything else you do. And if you can plan today, this moment, August 17th, 2014, at whatever time, 15 in the afternoon, if you can plan today to commit to discipline yourself for academics and your college performance, the way you discipline yourself for athletics or music or art or theater or practice, any of those things, it takes practice and effort. You're on your way to a tremendous, successful career as an academic scholar. Oh, the places you'll go. Think about what success you'll have in your classes and what a great performance you'll give when it comes to tests or presentations or class discussions. When I was working on my doctorate, I had a class project during that experience that involved evaluating and improving something that we were doing on campus. Since I was in charge of working with freshman seminar and the new students coming in, I selected our program and I was the director as well. So I studied then the freshmen. And my dissertation has to do with first-year students and what their experiences are and their transition to campus, which is why I love even more this particular weekend and getting everybody going, and it's so exciting. But when I was the director of that first-year program, I spent quite a bit of time during April of the school year where I interviewed freshmen. They'd come through, they started in August, they were coming to in May where the first year was ending. And they were freshmen, and I was interviewing them because I wanted to know as they were finishing their first year some questions about their experience that they had in college and what they'd expected. I wanted to know what they felt and after that first year and how I could help other freshmen. I asked them all kinds of questions. Some of their responses might help you today as you kind of think about this journey that you're on. They're not intended to scare you off. These are true statements from first-year students. When I asked them what they'd expected college to be like, similar to what I asked you on Friday, what are your expectations? Many of them said they thought it'd be a lot of fun, kind of a party atmosphere, and it would just kind of, not be too different from high school. When I asked them their actual experience, what it had been like in April, their overwhelming response was, it was work. It was a lot of work. I see faculty nodding their head, yes, good. One student said, there's a strong academic emphasis. I've never had so many papers due in 1 week at a time. I've had to really read. You can't just skip over the material, and you got to go to class and pay attention because they're serious about this. So don't slack off. And so that's a true quote from a particular freshman. I also asked them several questions, but 2 specifics, and I got kind of the same response. One of the questions I asked was if you had a brother or a sister or a friend who was coming in to campus as a freshman, what would you tell them? What advice would you give? And the second question I asked them is if you knew last August, like sitting here now, what you do now in April, looking back, what would you change? What would you do differently? And again, similar to what I just shared, I would have been ready that first day, prepared mentally, physically, ready to go. I wouldn't have put things off until the last minute. I'd tell my friends, be ready the first day of class, because you're starting the first day. I'd take good notes. And so thinking about that, practicing every day, putting in the time, that same principle. One of the things about being here in college now is this is one of the first times that you'll have more free time than you ever have. You're not in school from 8 to 3 all day. You may have classes Monday and Wednesday and Friday at 8 and 9, and you're done at 10. What are you going to do the rest of the day? You might have classes Tuesday and Thursday. You might have them scattered throughout. Well, that's where you get a chance to choose and think about what you're doing. There's some other tips that students from Georgia and Southern created, and maybe 4 or 5 years ago that they stated, and a couple things that I'll share with you as well. Similar. One of the students said, think about studying. It's important to do that. Have fun. Don't have too much fun. Too much fun so you skip class more than you go in a week's time, but learn the value of the word balance. As long as you can balance school and time and study time and work time and other time, then you'll do just fine. And remember what I said on Friday, physically, thinking about how you're sleeping and getting enough rest and putting in that balance is so important. Another thing they said is if you go to class, your grades will be better. One student quoted saying, my teachers told me from day one if I showed up for class, if I just showed up for class, my grades would be significantly better. Did I believe them? Nope. I went to the classes that were the hardest so I wouldn't get so far behind, and I neglected the little elective ones. My results? I got a B in English and a C in softball, and I love softball, and it sent my parents into a state of shock. Said I got the lower grade. I was just too lazy to go to class because it was too hot outside, and I got the lower grade based on attendance. And if you don't go to class, you miss a lot of material. And I was a professor, too, for about 8 years. So if you miss a class, go to your professor that day back and say, did I miss anything? Because you miss a lot. And they'll vouch for that. Don't take more classes than you know you can handle. Thinking about the balance piece. If you get started and you get a little overwhelmed and it feels like, take a step back. It's okay. We want you to be successful. Success is what it's all about. That scholar that I talked about, doing what you can do with who you are and what you have to offer. I want you to think about the fact that your success will be the result of your efforts, the responsibility that you take for your results and for your actions. If you get an A on a paper or a test, yay! That's because you put in the work. You were successful. You were responsible. Not because you got lucky. You put in the time. Likewise, if you're late for class, that's your responsibility too. You're responsible for you. I want you to think about making good decisions, and because you're responsible and accountable for your choices, good and bad. And as I said, you're a scholar. Be responsible. Take action. Make things happen for you. Don't wait for them to happen to you or for you. You make them happen. Breathe. Relax. Everything's going to be fine. There are going to be difficult times. There are going to be great times. This is a time in your life you get to experience and do new and interesting things. So do them. Manage your time wisely. Study, have fun, and think. Take advantage of your time here and make the best of it. Live a lot and learn a lot and enjoy the journey. You stand on the threshold of an amazing journey today. It's a wide open road. There's tremendous opportunity and incredible experiences. And I want to challenge you to have a fire in your belly, a passion for learning, pursuit for excellence. May today mark the beginning of many new joys and accomplishments. And may it be a continuation of all the good things you've already achieved. Just being here is a grand achievement. This is now the continuation of what you've experienced and accomplished. Whatever you do, don't worry. Just try it. Whatever you do, I know you'll be great. You already are. In this book are the places you'll go. It says, you'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember, life's a great balancing act. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. Well, 98.75% guaranteed. But you will succeed. And in closing, I want to quote the last line from this book as my last line for you. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so be on your way. Have a great year, and let your journey begin, because you can do it. You're a scholar, and I hope you'll have a great trip. Thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Herb Lundy. I'm Dean of Student Services here at Missouri State University West Plains. An honor to welcome new students to our campus. Now, I know maybe you're not brand spanking new. Maybe you're bringing in some dual credit courses, dual enrollment. Maybe you even came to our intercession classes that have been going on the last week or two at the campus. But beginning tomorrow, as Dr. Cave indicated, it's the real deal. It's your first full-time on-campus semester, the fall 2014 semester. Make the most of it, dive in, do well academically. Dr. Cave gave us some wonderful guidance. Get involved in extracurricular activities. There'll be a lot of activities right here on this stage, from concerts, movies, magic acts. In the arena, we'll have basketball games, volleyball games. We have championship caliber teams in both sports. I'd ask our athletes to raise their hands, but you can spot them. They tend to be a little taller than the rest of us. Now, it's also my pleasure to introduce a young lady named Shelby Harris. Shelby came to us last year after graduating from nearby Dora High School. She did well in the classroom, and she started getting involved on the campus as well. She became president of Tri Lambda. Now, if you think about that, you might ask, now is that her Greek sorority? Actually, it's a Grizzly Athletic Spirit Club that gives you a legitimate license to dress up crazy and go wild supporting for the Grizzlies in the West Plains Civic Center, and those games are coming up pretty soon. See Shelby, see Rogers Taylor, our coordinator of student life and development. You might want to get involved in Tri Lambda also. Now, last year at the end of her freshman year, Shelby ran a very successful campaign and became the student body president, and that's the capacity that she comes to us today. Shelby is going to talk to us about what it means to be a Grizzly. Now, one thing I like about Grizzly, you know, I tell people a lot of times, if you're going to live in West Plains, Missouri, you better drive a pickup truck. Now, my pickup truck is parked just outside, and when you see Shelby driving around campus, she drives a big old pickup truck too. Here's Shelby Harris, president of the Student Government Association, Missouri State University, West Plains.
What it means to be a Grizzly, to me, goes outside the classroom.
through study abroad, getting involved in organizations, volunteering your time to the community. Through the past year, I've been at Missouri State West Plains. I've volunteered, and it hasn't even really been volunteer. It's been helping me learn about society around our community and get involved and help people, and I've really enjoyed that, and I don't even consider it volunteering. I consider it me learning about other people in different situations and stuff like that. I was also able to study abroad this summer in May. I went with the honors group to Germany, Italy, and Switzerland, and I was able to learn about their society and their culture, yeah. I was able to learn about their culture, and one night we actually got stuck in Munich, Germany, because we missed the last train. And we rode in a taxi back to our hotel, and he didn't speak English, and it was the most heart-wrenching experience I've ever been in. And we drove on the Autobahn, which I don't know if you guys know about the Autobahn. I mean, I learned about it when I was in elementary school, but I didn't ever really remember it. We were going 120 miles on this road, and we about rear-ended someone, and I was about to have a heart attack. But it's just stuff like that that you learn outside of the classroom, but it's through the university. And I really love going to this college because it's gave me those experiences outside of the classroom. And I feel I've learned a lot inside the classroom, but I've learned even more outside the classroom. So remember throughout the semesters that you're here on the campus, get involved in organizations, go to basketball games, volleyball games, get involved in the volunteer activities that we have. We go to different rivers, we do river cleanup, we go to Habitat for Humanity, we help there, we paint the park benches and stuff like that. And that's really a good aspect of the university because you learn so much more. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelby. On behalf of the faculty, students, I want to welcome you again to Missouri State University West Plains. It is a privilege to have you here, and there are a bunch of you this year. I think we are about to 500, something like that, Dr. Lunde. So that's a bunch of new freshmen. So we are pleased and excited to have you on campus. What is one of the most important things that is tied to who you are? I would say it's probably your name. So my name is Dennis Lancaster, and so whatever I have put my name to over my 52 years of life, I have tried to make it worthwhile. I have tried to make it honorable. I have tried to make it a part of who I am. And what you are about to do, as Dr. Cave has so very aptly relayed to you, is about making you, is tying all those activities, all those things, all those ideas and concepts that's going to be running through your head and running through your mind. And what you do, as Shelby talked about, on campus and off campus and out of the classroom and in the classroom, will all be tied to your name. I shared with the faculty the other day one of, at least a tune of one of my favorite sitcoms, and so this will date me. But the song has, in the midst of it, you want to go where someplace where everyone knows your name. And I think for all of us, that is true. We will do our best to know your name. We will do our darndest. And I have challenged the faculty to do that. And I've only done so because I am really lousy at remembering names. So this is to me too. But I would also encourage you, students, that you need to know names too. You need to know people's names in your classroom, those people sitting beside you, those people who look different than you are, those people who sound different than you are, those people who have different ideas, even ideas that you may not even agree with. And I want you to know your instructor's name the first day. Now I tell you that because I have often asked a question on a final, what is my name? And I get a variety of answers. 4 months later. So, if you have my class, what is my name? But I want to get to know your name too. Now, part of what we're going to do today is has become now in year 2 a tradition. All right, and that is the signing of the Book of Grizzlies. And whenever I sign my name to something, whether that's a contract or a mortgage or it's just putting my name down, it means something. It means I have committed to this project. I have committed to whatever it is I'm doing. So students, here's how this is going to work. And I'm going to ask my now good friend Jacob Petrus to sort of demonstrate in just a minute, because Jacob's going to be our instrumentalist while you all do this. Jacob, come on up and around. In a few minutes, I'm going to ask all of you to move, all of you new freshmen, to move to the center aisle. And you're going to be waiting there just a little bit, but you're going to come up the steps just like Jacob's going to do. And we're going to move. Go ahead, Jacob. You can go over there. Is the pen over there? Yeah, there's the book. I'll move the podium over in just a minute. But you're going to sign your name. Okay, you're going to sign your name to the Book of Grizzlies. So as you sign your name, it'll be over here in the center, and then move off to the right, not to where Jacob's going, but to the right, and down the steps, and then back to your seat, if you would. And this will take just a minute, but in this beginning, this formal beginning of the academic year, and this beginning of your college career, I want you to remember that you signed the Book of Grizzlies. And by signing it, you're serious, and you're committed to what it is you're going to do. We are glad that you're here. And so, if you would move to the center aisle, all new freshmen, we will start this process. All right, freshmen, if you would all stand. So faculty and staff, and Dr. Bennett and Dr. Lunday, and Ms. Walsh, I present to you in our incoming class of freshmen. So let's welcome them. And I'll know your name, every one of you. Don't hold me to that. You may be seated. You may be seated. And Dr. Cave has already sort of mentioned this, but there's no thunder taken here. Parents and families, would you stand? Spouses, there we go. And I may have told some of you, you may be seated, I may have told some of you this in the parent orientation, but it takes three parties here. It takes the student, it takes the institution, and it takes you. You will find out how important that is. Stay on top of them, get them out of bed, feed them, wash their clothes, whatever. But keep their head in the game, okay? We'll do this together. In a few minutes, we're going to turn you loose, and there's some refreshments out in the lobby. There will also be faculty members with a little sign there that they'll be holding, and they will be the IDS 110 instructors that are part of the regular semester. Those of you who are part of the intercession, you already know your instructors. But I would encourage you, if you know your instructor's name, then kind of meet up with them. And they'll have some wise words, I'm sure, off the cuff, something like that. But you can have a head start and meet with them today if you want to. If you need to have a little bit of preview of where you are going tomorrow or Tuesday. If classes, the three main classroom buildings are open, so that would be Liebeyer and Melton and Looney Hall. They are open currently. If there's a door that's locked, then go around to another door, since we have several entrances. But this is your opportunity to kind of look around and make sure you know kind of where you're going today. I think that's all I had to say. I think that's it. All right. Thank you all very much for coming. Have a great semester.